Hey everybody, this is Timothy Gay here, back with another review, and today we're taking a look at Monopoly Gamer Mario Kart. Race for the highest score. This is the newest version of Monopoly Gamer, the sequel to a game which released last year, and it just came out, I think it was last week. And we've been playing it non-stop, once or twice a day since we got it. It's a very addicting game. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the differences between the original Monopoly Gamer and this version, and then also kind of just really quickly teach you how to play, because I haven't done a video on the original one yet. I did a written review back when I had more time to do written reviews. But we'll do it pretty quick on the teach how to play, because it's a very simple game to play. It's very straightforward, perfect for families, and anyone can play this game. I'm jumping into the review already. I'm just gushing. I love this game. I'll tell you right now. But let's go ahead and just teach you how to play. First setup, you're going to put the board out, and you're going to divvy out these characters to people. This plays 2 to 4. It's slightly different with 2-player, and I'll talk about that in a second. But with 3 or 4 people, everybody gets one of these characters, and these all play completely unique. They have 2 unique powers to each of them, so they're really neat looking little sculptures that you can play with. So let's say for our example game, I'm picking Mario, and then I'm playing against these other losers. And so you each get one. We're playing a 3-player game. Everyone would get the character's card, which details their powers, okay? And we'll get into those and how those work in just a second, and I'll explain each one. Everybody gets one of these reference cards, which talks about the Powerup die, which is that white die right there. Okay, and then also everybody gets 1 5 coin and 5 1 coins to start the game, and then you're ready to go. So the whole point of this game is to end up with the most money, the most properties at the end of the game, and the most points off of winning races. And I did those backwards. Whoops. So you get points from those. You get points from these properties. You see 50 points down at the bottom there for Bowser's Castle. Okay. So, of course, just like Monopoly, these properties are the cheapest. As you keep going, they're getting more expensive all the way up to 5, okay? So we have property spaces, we have a boost space, we have a space, whatever it's called. You know, the thing where you hit it and you get the weapons in the game. Star spaces, and then we get the classic Monopoly spaces, the free parking, jail, which I go to jail so many times in this game. It's ridiculous. We got the go to jail spot, which they did some fancier little art on, which is cool. And of course, go. Do not pass go. That doesn't happen in this game, actually. So, and then we got the thwomp space. And I'm going to go over each of these spaces, what they do, and I want to show you some sample turns, okay? So, on your turn, you take the dice, both of them, and roll them. And you get to choose the order that you perform the actions off of these dice. So I can do my movement of 5 first, and then get the coin power, which will go over each side of that die in just a second. Or vice versa, I could do the coins and then do the movement. So let's say that was Mario's turn. Well, Mario's just going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so he lands on this spot. He can decide to buy that spot for 1 coin. And it's really simple. The money is super simple in this game. They kind of cleaned it all up. None of this paper money and all that. We got these little cardboard coins. And so if I had a coin, I could pay it, and then I could get the property card. And then for the remainder of the game, if somebody landed on Sweet Sweet Canyon, they would have to pay me 1. If I also got Thwomp Ruins and I had both blues, then they would have to pay me 2 for landing on either one. So it's just like in regular Monopoly, where the more of a single color you get, the better. I will say, in this game, do not get comfortable with your properties. You're probably going to lose a lot of them. They get stolen sometimes. They get, you're forced to sell them, which on the back here, if you ever had to sell them to get money to be able to do stuff, which happens a lot in this game, you would get the face value. So I could sell this to get a coin. I could just sell it if I wanted to also. So that's how the property space works, okay? So let's talk about, let's go ahead and just talk about this power-up die. So let's say Mario has, he's rolled that. We look on our little handy chart here and we say, well, if you roll that, you get to just collect 3 coins from the bank right away. So that's very nice. Now let's talk about some other sides of the die. Let's just go through all of them real quick. We'll start with the infamous blue shell from Mario Kart, okay? And that says, choose any player to drop 3 coins. Now what does that mean, drop coins? Let's say Toad rolled that blue shell. He can choose anyone on the board, except for Luigi. He's out of here. Get out of here, loser. To drop, let's just say he shoots Mario. Toad's going to hit Mario. On his turn, he rolled that blue shell. He's going to hit Mario. Mario has to take 3 from his supply, and he puts them on that spot. And now what happens is if any player later on, keeps driving, and they either stop or go through that spot, they get to collect that money. So you see a lot of money going back and forth because you're hitting each other with shells or other such things as that, where you're having to drop coins on the board. That's just money coming out of your pocket and most likely going in someone else's, because if Mario's hit here and he leaves this spot, he doesn't get those coins. It's only when you go into the spot. So he drops them and he's leaving them behind. It's kind of like in Mario Kart, when you get hit in the race and you're spinning around and you're dropping in the race because you got smacked or ran into a banana or something like that. So that's pretty thematic part of this. That's really something that really makes this game completely different from your standard Monopoly. I think that's one of the coolest parts of the game. There's a lot of attacking as you're going around the racetrack here. The green shell. So the blue shell, you got to choose who dropped it. The green shell would be the next player in front of you in the race. So anywhere up here, you could have Toad way up here, and Mario rolls that green shell. The green shell, you just imagine it would go bam and hit him, and he would have to drop 3 coins just like we did. So you don't get a choice who you're hitting, but you want to hit everyone. So you're not forming a team here. So that's just a little bit different from the blue shell. Now the lightning bolt, which we rolled a second ago, would make it so every player has to drop a coin on the board wherever they're at. So a single coin drop, everybody but you. So it's a great way to get some coins on the board that you're probably going to drive into later. And that's kind of like in the Mario Kart game. The lightning bolt hits everybody. Now we got my favorite addition to this version is the banana. And this replaced the squid, which in the previous Monopoly game, the squid allowed you to steal 2 coins from anyone. That's okay. It wasn't the most exciting. But banana, let's say it's Mario's turn and he rolls a 5 in the banana. So this is the only side of the power-up die that you have to move first and then do the power-up die. So you go 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And from those spaces that I've started in and went into, I can choose and take one of these little banana tokens, any of those spots, and put it on that spot. And let's say Peach's turn and she's going, she's going here. Say she rolled a 5 or a 6 or something on this turn and she's at the star in a future turn. Well, she would go 1, 2, and when she hits that banana spot, she has to stop immediately. The banana's removed, and she performs whatever's in that spot. So what you see a lot of people doing with bananas is putting them on their own properties that they've purchased so that people have to stop into them. The odds are not always the best that somebody's going to land on your spot. That's a way to make sure somebody's definitely going to stop in that spot. And then the cruelest way, well, here's another cruel way, put them on a thwomp spot. And what does the thwomp spot do? If you land on the thwomp, you have to drop 2 coins. You got thwomped. Bam. So that's how that spot works. Look, that was a twofer there, a little. What the most evil thing to do with the bananas, of course, would be put one on go to jail. And that guarantees somebody's going to hit that spot and go straight to jail. So we do that a lot to each other. It's awful, because you'll be going and somebody passes that, hits the banana, and you're over here and you go, well, I know I'm going to jail on this turn. Great. So the bananas, probably my favorite new thing they added to the Mario Kart version of Monopoly Gamer. And then, of course, the 3 coin side, collect 3 coins. Now, these power-ups also can grant the characters a unique ability. So for Princess Peach, you see here, everyone has a star ability, which is if you land on a star space, you get to activate it. Okay, and we'll go through these in a second. But the blue, like if she rolls a blue shell, instead of just hitting one person for 3, she can choose 2 people to drop 3. So they're a little bit of a boost to the original power. So for like Luigi, if he rolls a banana, then he can put a banana on any one of his properties anywhere on the board. It doesn't have to be in the spaces he went through. Okay, let's just go through all these real quick. Toad, if he rolls a lightning bolt, all players drop a coin and they have to give you a coin. So they're losing 2 coins, and you're getting coins directly to your stash. Mario, if he rolls the 3 coin, he can collect the 3 coins like normal, or he can add up to 3 spaces on his roll. So he could say, well, I really want to get to Twisted Mansion and buy it. So instead of getting the 3 coins, I'm going to forfeit them and we'll move up to 3. He could also just say, I want to move up to this one and not get the 3 coins. So he's got some flexibility with his powers. Really cool. So that's all the different sides of the power die. That's how they work. That's how they work with the players. So you see some uniqueness to whoever you choose. So it doesn't matter what character you choose at the beginning. So we're moving around the board. We're hitting these unique spaces here. Let's talk about this space. This space is the equivalent of the pipes from the original Monopoly Gamer. But these, I think, are way cooler, because if you land on those, okay, on your turn, you immediately take the movement die and roll it again, and then you just do those spots. So it's like in the game Mario Kart, when you hit those little boost stripes on the ground, it makes you go faster, and you start zoom. So that's what that kind of is. So it's a little more interesting, because in the other one it would be a pipe in that spot, and you would pipe just up to there, so you'd warp pipe, which was thematic for Mario. And I like that little change they make to this board, where it's a similar game, you know, a little tweak to it. This little question mark spot is like the weapons box in the Mario Kart game. You don't know what you're going to get. So when you land on that, you roll the die, and you get that number of coins. So in this case, I would have got 4 coins straight to my bank. Okay? And that is all that there is for the board. We'll talk about the star spaces briefly in a second. The other change from Monopoly Gamer, in Monopoly Gamer, when you pass go, you collected 2, and then you would have a boss fight. You would take one of these cards, and they're in ascending order, and I did it backwards, and you would flip over the top one, and then you would get the chance to face that boss. And if you failed, the next person had the choice to, and the next person, and the next person. It kept going around until everybody didn't want to do it anymore. Well, in this one, you all participate together in a race, and these are like iconic races from the game. And so it says Moo Moo Meadows. Somebody has passed go, so we flip this one over, and it says pay 1 to race. So this is for everyone at the table can pay 1 in race. And what is a race? It's really simple. You take the movement die, starting with the person that passed go, to get this started, and they roll. And then after everybody rolls, you see who has the highest. Ties would roll again, and so the highest would take the card. They'd get the points. They'd get the first place thing, whichever it is. Whoever rolled the second highest gets the second place. And sometimes it's just first and second. Sometimes they have the third place on it too. So everybody usually gets something, so it's good for everybody. It's a pretty different feeling than the boss fights, I think. I can't decide which ones I like more, the boss fights or the races. I like the way they work with this game better. as far as being Mario Kart. It feels more Mario Kart. But I don't know if I like that betting feeling to the boss fights. This one kind of feels, yeah, I guess so, but I don't know. Maybe I just need to play it a little bit more to get more comfortable, because I played the original so many more times. But I like that. And then you get through all 8. Once the 8th race is completed, the game ends and everyone totals it up. So the game doesn't go on forever like original Monopoly. You know, that's 8 laps around the board. Not everybody goes 8. It's just 8. Like if you're playing 4-player, that'd be 2 times around almost for everybody. Maybe less. It depends. So it's quick. It takes about an hour to play. Much faster than Monopoly. So let's talk real quick about these star powers. Mario, when he lands on it, he collects 3 coins, then rolls the die again, and then does the space. So it's like another turn plus a bonus 3 coins. Toad, he can drop 5 coins and move forward that many spaces, and then follow the rules. So Toad's really fast in Mario Kart, and that kind of reflects that. Luigi, he can move to the least expensive unowned property and buy it or auction it. That's a really good power. So he can kind of go around the board all over the place and get the properties a little bit easier. Princess Peach, at the end of your turn, you may roll the power-up die again and complete the action. That's okay. Pretty good. Could be something really beneficial. So let me just give you some final thoughts on this new version. I love it. It's just an absolute blast. Like I said, we've been playing it nonstop since I got it. My 4-year-old daughter loves it. She loved the original, and she loves this one too. I think she likes it a little bit more because the cars. And I gotta say, you could mix the 2 games if you wanted to. It's pretty easy. To keep it simple, you could just roll the power-up die since it's different faces. If you're playing a Mario Kart character, roll this power-up die. If you're playing a different character from the other game, roll that power-up die. Keep it simple that way. But like I said, this game is fantastic. I can't wait to see what they do next with the franchise. I'm hoping maybe some Zelda or Metroid or something really cool, and I hope they keep doing new boards with it. Oh, one last thing. They are going to do the power packs, and it's going to have all our favorites: Bowser, Shy Guy, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, Rosalina, Metal Mario, and those are coming really soon. So look for those. Thanks for watching, everybody.